anticipating that we did not call? Hearing none. Please remember to mute your mic or your phone when you're not speaking. Since the last meeting in March, Travis has left the city of Mesa and has therefore stepped down from the tag chair position. As vice chair, I have ascended to chair. Craig will address the open vice chair position later in this meeting. Members of the public were asked to submit written comments related to this meeting on the MAG website within 1 hour of the posted start time for the meeting. Craig, do we have any public comments?
Yeah, we have not received any comments for this or any other agenda item.
Excellent. So we're going to go back to item number 3. Could I have a motion to recommend approval of the March 16th, 2023 meeting minutes?
Motion by Mike Chiarone to approve.
We have a second.
Second, Mallon.
Greg, will you take a roll call, please?
Chair, members of the committee, please indicate approval by saying aye. Tom Bacon, Mike Chiarone,
Aye.
Kim Clark, Chris Dalmine, Justin Fair, Robert Fisher,
Aye.
Alan Claypool for Steve Hambrick,
Aye.
Steve Holiday, Jim Keane, Tracy Mills,
Aye.
Phil Osman, Greg Pataz,
Aye.
Sasim Farid-Azadi,
Aye.
and Linda Shoemaker for Jeff Sheets.
Aye.
And motion is approved.
Excellent. So item number 4, Regional Community Network Update. Ryan Gish from MAG will provide an update on the Regional Community Network, RCN.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the TAG committee. It's been quite some time since I've given an update on some of the RCN activities that are related. The most recent update I'd like to report on is our regional fiber upgrade project. This is a joint oversight project working with the RCN, our MAG TISMO group, and also the ITS committee. This project was created under the MAG SNMO plan a few years back, and they allocated funds to help assist local agencies with upgrades to existing regional fiber paths to create like a little bit more of a reliable connections and more stable connections over previous connections. Over this past year, we've completed a few projects to help improve the communication paths, mostly with ADOT, Chandler, Queen Creek, Mesa, Surprise, and Phoenix. To go back the furthest one, probably last year in December, we worked with Queen Creek and Mesa to upgrade a 3-mile communications path that was previously on wireless, which wasn't exactly the most stable communication path. This was a connection along Ellsworth Road, and this new fiber path was made available because a lot of conduit was put in the ground due to the recent housing development or residential development along that path. So we're able to create a more reliable fiber communication between the two agencies. Some of the applications shared across this were for camera sharing, traffic signal coordination between the two agencies, and also to provide a path for public safety and emergency services. So between the two agencies. That one took a little bit longer than normal, but we split it out over 2, but it is done and we have that communication path up now. Like I said, it really helped out a lot that the conduit came in before this because we couldn't have done it without the existing conduit path. Also, another project earlier this year we completed with Surprise and ADOT with the traffic folks over there. This was to improve communications along the Loop 303 and Grand Avenue. This path was to help with a lot of the traffic mitigation up at the 163rd Avenue corridor. So there's a lot of housing developments, residential development up in that area, and just the surge of people and traffic up that way. So this communication path is going to help Surprise, ADOT, and even McDOT with some of those pathways up to that area. And lastly, we have a project we're currently going through and we need to finish before the end of this fiscal year, and that would be with the City of Phoenix to upgrade some communication paths along 19th Avenue. This one's about a 3.5 mile link and that'll support Phoenix with traffic communications and also give our RCN project a redundant path up to the North Valley towards the airport up there. Other than this project, as part of the RCN, I've been continuing to go out and help support the local agencies with any of their various ITS or traffic needs, and still continue to provide that service. So with that, that'll be the end of my update. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Ryan. Are there any other questions from any of our members? We're excited and surprised to get that fiber up by the Loop 303 in Grand. I do know that. That is a major traffic jam for major pain point for us. So we're excited when that'll be completed.
Good, I appreciate it.
This item is on the agenda for information and discussion only. So with that, we'll move to item number 5, 911 study update or committee update. Audrey Skidmore of MAG will provide an update on the 911 study committee.
Thank you, Chair, members of the committee. The study committee has received the draft report for the first 2 tasks of the consultant project. So this is the interviews that they did with all of the agencies. Just as a reminder, they interviewed the PSAP manager, it would be the 911 oversight committee member or police or fire chief, and then somebody at like the city manager level to gain a better understanding of what people value in the 911 system, how they want it to work, what the priorities are. They also did, as part of the second task, data collection on the existing system, the system offered by the state to the agencies outside the region, what was in that whole RFP. And then they also talked to 5 peer agencies around the country. This included looking at their funding sources, how much funding they get, really just an overview. This is to feed task 3, which is the meat of the project. And that draft report will come down on June 9th. And that is going to be an analysis of available technologies, what other agencies are using, what we're using, what's possible against those values, and give some recommendations, probably a small range of recommendations for how to move forward with the regional 911 system. I would also like to point out that because Travis has moved on, Tracy as chair of TAG is now serving on that committee. And so she was thrown into her first meeting and getting the draft report. So that draft report is at your agencies for review. We requested comments by Friday. So if that's something you should be looking at and you haven't seen, please follow up and make sure you get a look at it. And I would be happy to answer any questions.
Audrey, those comments should be filtered through this MAG committee back to you. Is that how you like to see them?
They can provide them to me, and I will make sure they get to the consultant. Okay. I'm just consolidating them so that they don't get the same one like 5 times. So I'll give it to them once. But
gotcha. Okay.
But yes, I will. If you have any comments, you can give it to me or to Chantel, who's staffing that committee. But
okay,
me is fine. I'll make sure they get to the right place.
Great. I spoke to our PSAP manager this morning and she has a few comments. So we'll make sure we get those back to you.
All right.
So are there any other questions from our members? Hearing none, this item is on the agenda for information and discussion only. We will move on to, thank you, Audrey. We'll move on to item number 6, employee retention. Committee members will discuss employee retention. I asked for this item actually to be added to the agenda only because we are seeing an influx of people, either going to different agencies or going to private sector, going to the dark side. So I just wanted to know what other agencies are doing. What, are you starting to look at options for retention? Are you looking at bonuses? Are you, we're having a difficult time getting people. So, once they do leave. So I'm just trying to see what other agencies have been up against and what other agencies are doing. So I'll open it to anybody.
The city of Phoenix, we're going through a class and comp survey right now. So that's going to help on salary side. Should be in place at the beginning of August. We do on positions that have been vacant and posted multiple times. We do a signing bonus, and they get it in stair steps, so they have to stick around for a while to get that. That's really our major things on the recruiting and the retention side.
Okay. Any others?
Yeah, this is Robert from the city of Scottsdale. We're going to be going through a class and comp study in the fall as well. But we have spent the last year looking at the technical positions in our departments, not the ones in central IT, but the departments, because it's the titles and the salary ranges were created 15 to 20 years ago. So we are proposing some changes to that, working with HR and our compensation team and that. And it is possible that those changes and what comes out of that could also have an impact on our IT team as well.
Very good. We are starting a comp class as well. We were interviewed, I want to say at least 6 months ago, and I think that's the precursor to other things to come. But it's a citywide comp class, so it's not just focused on IT. But I'm hoping to see some recommendations that'll come out of that once it's in full force. We do offer sign-on bonuses for some areas of work. It's not huge, but at least it's something. Are any of you also doing that? Or you're not going to tell me because you might want my people?
Point, share our secrets. If you could send us the order for surprise, I'd appreciate it.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We don't offer sign-on bonuses.
Okay.
We don't either.
We don't either at this time. We don't.
Okay. Like I said, it's not huge, but it is a little bit of an incentive because our pay scale is, we're still trying to work through pay scales, and what we're seeing from the outside, our struggle is they see a salary range when it's posted, and they think they can ask for the high tier, and so we have to go back and explain that that's usually not where we hire people at. But here's a hiring incentive, if that can help you, at least for this first year, get you a little closer to where you think you should be. So we're trying that out, but we're just having a lot of trouble getting technical people to apply. I had a network position open and I had 16 candidates. So it's just tough. I just think it's tough everywhere.
So
Anyway,
we
go ahead.
have candidates that apply for our high level positions, seeing the salary range. And then when we get to the offer, they want something above that range.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was a posted range. So that's not how
Right.
government works.
Yeah.
And, it's hard. It's hard
It
on
is.
our higher level positions. So I'll say like our architect and
Yeah.
positions and things like that.
Yeah, fortunately, I was fortunate to fill our network architect internal, but so I didn't have too much trouble, but backfilling some of those senior positions too were a little tough, trying to go to the outside and match outside salaries. Let's put it that way. Any other comments or?
Tracy, one of the things we found, so we have 44 vacancies in IT. And one of the things we found, a lot more contact really helps, because our hiring process can take 2 to 3 months. That's without CS. We're working on fixing that, but keeping them up to date, talking with them, encouraging to stay with us through the process has helped a lot. And then when they come on board, or a lot of hearing and feeding information and that type has really helped retention, especially through that hiring process.
So you're kind of cutting out a little bit, but I think what I understood was you're working with your existing staff and just trying to keep them happy.
Existing staff as well as the candidates for new positions.
Okay.
So a lot more care and feeding and talking to them, and caring about what they're thinking, what they need to be successful.
Yep. Thank you.
And Avondale's faced the same trouble when we've promoted within getting outside candidates. And so we normally don't have a lot of positions open, but we had struggled this year when we promoted up, and then we needed to backfill. And then we were fortunate enough to get a couple positions, and trying to fill them and getting people to actually show up for the interviews was our problem.
Yeah.
And so some friends of mine outside of government said, well, people are just applying to keep on the unemployment checks going. And I said, you're kidding. And that's what they're finding out in the private sector as well, is some of them are struggling. So I think it's everywhere.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. I mean, I had one where, like I said, 16 candidates. I had 6 people, to do interviews for, and only 2 people responded to interview. So I was shocked, but I'm glad I'm not alone. So that's interesting. All right, well, this item is on the agenda for information and discussion only. So we will, if there's no other comments, we'll move on to item 7. Our next item is the agency project updates. Committee members can discuss current agency projects that may be of a regional interest to the committee. And this item is on the agenda for information and discussion only. Anybody have any updates, any exciting projects that they're working on? Avondale, anything exciting?
The only thing I can say that is exciting is if the background check goes through, we will be fully staffed come May 30th, finally, after a very long time of having several open positions. But as far as our projects, not really. I know we have a lot in progress, but right now we're focusing a lot on FY24, closing up where we're at, where we have to carry over and doing all that. So I'm buried in that information. So Mark and Jeff are more on, but nothing's really finished at the moment. But great things are coming. So for our people, and we're always working on fiber.
Excellent. Scottsdale.
Oh, well, several vacancies, quite a few Bond 2019 projects still ongoing. Our content management system for our primary websites, we're having some challenges with implementation and the vendor, but we're working through those. We've got some renewed interest in getting that done from the vendor side, a new quality assurance team. So hopefully we'll get that going, and our website will be redesigned and out there here in the next quarter. Still working on running fiber throughout the city for our city facilities. We're running some pretty large strands down our main arterials, so Scottsdale Road, Hayden Road, Pima Road. And we're still in the middle of a document management migration from open text to Laserfish. So
Oh,
we have two main departments left in the city, our planning department and part of our attorney's office. So, and there's a million other things, but we're in the middle of the review cycle as well. So that's taking a lot of time right now for everyone, and just trying to. I've got 3 vacancies alone just on my team, and so we've checked in the departments, and they've got 4 technical vacancies coming up here by July in the departments. So it's going to be interesting for us. We're going to need quite a few new people in the future. So,
Robert, may I ask a question? This is Linda from Avondale.
sure.
On your Laserfish project, is it all city departments that are using it for their documents?
So going forward, all city departments can use it for their documents. In
Okay.
the past, not all departments were. We probably had about 1,000 users
Okay,
in the past. So,
because we're have implemented it for city clerk and HR is in the process, and I might reach out just for getting buy-in for the rest of the city staff to start using it, because it is a great tool. And it's, as we all know, nice to consolidate and have more people use one product instead of having multiple. So thank you for that.
we're using it here in Surprise as well for our HR and our city clerks area. And I think some of our courts documents are in Laserfish as well. But we're looking at options for our entire city. I mean, we just have no way to manage the volume of documents that are saved, and they just continue just to be saved forever and ever and ever. And so we're starting to kind of look through how we want to address that as a citywide.
Yeah, we do have our legal team on a separate one because just that's what they need for, because we have an internal legal department. So, and that's working out real well for them. They're using iManage. So they really like that.
Excellent.
But yeah.
Very cool. Tempe, is Tempe on?
We are currently in the process of getting a new representative for Tempe. The paperwork was submitted earlier this week. We were hoping we could get it approved because we need a signature from the chair of the regional council. But that did not come through in time. So by our next meeting, we will have a representative coming in from Tempe.
I just know they had an exciting council update. I think it was 2 weeks ago on fiber. And so I was hoping they would talk about it, but maybe we'll get them next time. I'm sure I'm missing tons of departments, or I'm not sorry, department cities. Anybody else wish to speak? I don't mean to single out people. That's who was up on my screen.
Tracy, we pushed all of the cybersecurity projects to the forefront because of what happened up in Dallas and some other things that we're starting to see. If you folks haven't looked at the intel recently, you might want to take a look because of the presence of TSMC. We're getting a lot of activity. So we're moving forward on our projects at a greater haste.
Okay, good to hear. Good, not good to hear, but good information. Sorry. How about well, we've got it. We talked to Avondale. Do we have Goodyear on? I'm just going to call people out. That's all.
Yeah, Goodyear is not currently on.
No. Okay. All right. Everybody else is going to be quiet, so fine. That we'll leave it at that. So this item again is on the agenda for information and discussion only, but good information. So item number 8, are there any requests for membership for an item on future agenda?
Could I just jump in real quick, Tracy?
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. I missed it.
Not a problem at all. As Tracy mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, Travis has moved on from Mesa, and Tracy has ascended to chair. So our vice chair position is open. I'll be sending out an email after the meeting for solicitation for filling that position. For geographic balance, the preference is we now have a West Side representation, either Central Valley or East Valley. So if anybody is interested, I know Robert, I will single you out. I know you'd expressed interest last year before last. So if anybody is interested, we are open to solicitations. I will send out an email after the meeting. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you. So we'll go back to item 8. Are there any requests for membership from the membership to have items added for future agendas? Maybe we'll get Tempe on by then and we can talk about their fiber RFI that's going out.
If I can jump in as well. At the last meeting, we had a constituent management. And I know, Greg, you said you may have actually, we have lost Greg. Okay, well, I will send Greg an email after the meeting. He said he may have an update. And Alan Steen said he may have an update for us as well. I know you said you were evaluating. Yes, Audrey.
Did you lose your quorum?
No, we did not.
Okay.
No, we were 2 over our quorum. Sorry. Yeah, at the last meeting, Alan Steen said he may have an update on some products that you were evaluating. So I'll reach out to you both after this meeting as well.
Yes, we've already selected our product and we're moving forward with implementation, but I'll let him be updated.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. On to item 9. The next meeting of the MAGTAG is scheduled for Thursday, July 20th, 2023 at 10 a.m. Do we need to do a motion to adjourn or anything? Okay, I guess our business is now concluded and we'll see you in late July. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.